Hello, my name is METİN Arıdaşır. This is 284th part of explanation of my theory. According to my theory and my formulas. New fundamental constant. Tangential speed of electron's surface. 1,884,000 km per second, 6.28 times greater than speed of light. And new formula of METİN Arıdaşır. This formula is tangential velocity formula of electron motion form. How? Yes. Snapshot. Yes. One. There is no way to directly see light waves, or, if they exist, photon particles as they travel from one place to another. Because the place where light originates and spreads is matter. Which matter? Meta, sensation, perception matter, MSPM. Without emptiness, without vacuum, without nothingness. Which is also not directly visible. Light is not one of the objects that exists in the observable universe. Our subjective reality say our observable universe is not the birthplace of light. Light is the bridge between two different realities, between matter and life, and it is unique clue between them. Without directly monitoring light journey through interference experiments, that expected interference fringe shift led to the conclusions that the speed of light is constant and speed of light doesn't depend on its source motion velocity. However, it could be designed or imagined that light travels in a different way, and this could be tested with experiments and measurements. Pictures and processes whose parts work harmonious and consistent could be put forth. This is what I did. The three of my conclusions are: the velocity of light is variable. It can access 300,000 km per second velocity, and light velocity depends on its source motion, source velocity, motion direction, and orientation. By the way, these are not our topic here. Here, the source of tangential velocity electron motion form is at rest, so any point of its surface, what? Is not variable. Yes. I thought there should be cyclicals. I thought there should be cyclical, repetitive, and interconnected. Okay, interconnected, it must, because consecutive spherical ring-shaped, same-shaped waves, intertwined, interconnected, interacted. I thought there should be cyclical, repetitive, and interconnected, self-feeding, angular movement forms. It's only one section. Think of three-dimensional, ring-shaped. This is electron motion form. I thought there should be cyclical, repetitive, and interconnected, self-feeding, angular movement forms that represent order in matter, sensation, perception, matter, MSPM, intrinsically, and that represent order in our, secondarily, subjective reality or observable universe. Contrary to accepted physics theories, according to accepted physics theories, electron is point particle. It is dimensionless. This is wrong. Contrary to accepted physics theories, this motion form had to have three dimensions and wavelength, radius. Snapshot again. Notice. Yes. I visualize this form as a spherical ring-shaped motion form, intrinsic motion form of matter, sensation, perception, matter. You cannot see it directly. You cannot see its waves directly. From a point to another point, you cannot observe its traveling process. Yes. Even before I created my formulas, believe me, I laughed at myself seriously. I laughed at myself. I don't believe myself. I laughed at myself for my image of spherical ring-shaped electron motion form and its intertwined same-shaped successive waves. Yes, two. What would allow us to assume that light travels at a constant speed of 300,000 km per second? This is result. What is its root? How can it be? Where can it be where it originated? Where did it originated? What would allow us to assume that light travels at a constant speed of 300,000 km per second? That was my first question. There were consecutive waves and wavelengths involved, and the electron producing them had to be of the same wavelength, radius. Okay? It's successive waves. Okay, successive waves. Intertwined successive waves of electron motion form. Yes. The place where all this happened was the matter, sensation, perception, matter. We cannot sense directly. I imagined movement forms in the form of repeated, intertwined, interconnected, interacted, cyclical spherical rings. Therefore, these intrinsic motion forms should also have tangential velocities, Since the wave speed doesn't change regardless of the wavelength, the balance element that compensates this should be frequency. Electron motion form was an angular moment form in its every section. Yes, in order for a motionless at rest electron motion form as a light source to send its successive waves to all directions in the same time, the cycle of this electron motion form's angular motion should have parallel and connectable frequency. This was mean angular frequency of electron motion forms. Angular cyclical motion, this formula should include the c divided by lambda, because each angular motion cycle and each paces of waves in the c direction component actualize in same period. What does it mean? What does it mean? First cycle, lambda, lambda. Okay. When it finished, this is one pace. Then tangential velocity come in plus first tangential velocity 2 multiplied second and second one. Second pace, first pace, and so on and so forth. These cycles and these paces, c direction, this is c direction, okay, or this is c direction, point, paces, one pace, two paces, three paces, one cycle, two cycles, three cycles, okay. Each cycles and each paces have the same periods. Okay? Now, this is so important. Because each angular motion cycle and each paces of waves in c direction component actualize in same period. Okay? Like this. Like this. Okay? This is formular explanation for that. And how can I find tangential velocity and all successive waves, each wave's tangential velocities, vCn? Now, I'm so sorry. Final formula, my final formula in this context, vCn is equal to wave number multiplied by 2 pi c, or wave number multiplied by 1,884,000 kilometer per second, 6.28 times greater than the speed of light. Okay. Yes. Yes. Now, wavelength, lambda, was nothing but the radius of this electron motion form. After that, it was easy for me to find the tangential speed, which determines the speed of light. tangential speed was 6.28 times greater than the speed of light, and I was the first to find this. To date, no physical theory has discerned and recognized such a constant, and this is one of my main formulas here. Okay, tangential velocity formula that I put for, and vc indicates tangential velocity and is wave number. Yes, tangential velocity is so important. 3. After finding tangential speed, I discern that there are two speed or velocity component of an electron motion form. This is so important. Electron motion form has, say, this is a point, this is tangential velocity component, this is c direction component, and this is so important. I discern that there are two speed or velocity component of an electron motion form, c direction component and tangential velocity component. Masses for each point, tangential velocity component mass differ from speed of light component mass. Tangential velocity component energy different, speed of light component energy different. Okay. And their speeds are different, and c divided by vg is equal to this difference rate. Okay. But now I don't want to confuse your mind now. I have told before, my previous, all they are in my previous videos. Masses, energies, etc. are different for these two different speeds components. 4. Now, a critic. No one has ever observed a photon moving from one place to another if it exists as an independent particle. No one has been able to reconcile the photon as a massless particle with its wavelength. No one could identify what the photon was waving or why photons are